I'm Marina Trusa and I work for the OFX as a general manager of finance. To be honest, pretty shattered. I I kind of walked into this thinking, not that I didn't sleep in a rough before camping and stuff like that, but it's different, right? So I walked into this with a very sort of serious mode, but also expecting what I will be feeling when I lie down in the cardboards on the wet grass. And I deliberately didn't take a pillow. I didn't take thermals. I mean, I had a bit of this is the hoodie that OFX gave me, and so they saw me doing it today, and they were like, you must have hoodie, and I thought, okay. So somewhere kind of lying down in the first probably 3 hours, I kind of drifted and slept a bit. But then it started getting really, really cold. The body started aching and rolling on one side. And then I realized all the sleeping bags are soaked. And then this water started coming in. And I thought, right, okay, I'm already in the moderately comfortable conditions because I prepared for this and I know I'm safe. But I'm already really, it's physically exhausting. And then I thought, oh my God, but at least now I'm safe. I know that I'm lying in a cricket ground and I'm going to have a cup of tea later on and it's all good. Imagine doing this for weeks and months and not necessarily, 9 degrees is probably not that bad. So, yeah, I can do it one night, I can do it 2 nights, but I also was thinking, well, how easy it is for us to get into this situation. And I think probably execs and CEOs are the ones that are probably least resilient for this. They're resilient for restructurings, raising money, all the big ticket items. But when you're physically lying there, you're so exposed, and then your basic needs are not met, and suddenly you kind of like, wow, okay, what do I do? Presentations were great. I really liked that the people who came to speak, they were not your stereotypical, I guess, when we judge and we think, oh, okay, well, how the homeless person looks like, right? They were exactly like people like you and me and everywhere else. And particularly what I thought is that, especially if you get the health scare, when you can't actually rely on your own capability anymore, and I guess in my case, it's relying on my brain a lot, and if I can't do this, if, for example, I am diagnosed with some serious disease, which I had a health scare last year, so I could have easily been in this similar situation, right? My friend was just diagnosed senior executive with cancer and going through the chemo treatment for the last week, and I was thinking about him now, thinking that today in the morning he's going to go there, and he has, young family, and he can be in this situation. So it was great to see that none of us are immune, and I think those presentations show that. I think we're stronger than we think we are, even though it may not seem like that. And there is always a choice that we have. It could be either a choice that we can undertake at the moment, like from the action point of view, or it could be a choice of how we see situation in our head. And if we give up in our head, then then it's immediate. We can't see the choices in front of us that more from the action point of view. So I think the only thing I can say is that regardless how hard it gets, the way that gets us through is that these choices that we make in our head to actually go next, do the next step, and try to get through this. I grabbed the second card box. I thought maybe 1 is not enough, and 2 are not enough either, to be honest. I also thought it's still kind of, I know that there are not going to be gangs on the street, and I'm not going to be raped, and I can just put my earplugs and just kind of try to sleep. And even that was hard, right? And I think I was skeptical about this event. Because I thought, oh, okay, a bunch of senior people trying to play the game of sleeplessness, right? And homelessness. I think it's great that it's the closest we can get to at least the physical feeling of it. So I think it's fantastic. Apart from all this awareness that people like us can use, with their name, with their company, with their brand, to get the word out there and raise the money. But that has actually two elements to it. So I'll do it again. I think my skepticism is wiped out. I did manage to sleep. Yes, I did. I was rolling. Once one side got wet, I was like, oh, okay, let me go on the other side. And then the other got wet, and I'm like, okay, let's go on the other one. I did sleep. I think it was kind of in and out, but I'd say maybe I had 3-4 hours, kind of. I think it's amazing that, like, my favorite book is A Little Prince, and there it says you have to see with your heart. And I think this lets us, even for a glimpse, to try to see with our heart of what it actually is, how it could feel. And I use it more also as a reflection point. When I was lying there and I was looking in the sky and I thought, wow, the stars are beautiful. And I thought, this is ridiculous. You're lying here, very cold, and you're thinking how beautiful the stars are. So there is always something nice. There's always something, regardless how, I guess, what surrounds you. You can always see the light.